Hey, thank you,
Hi.
guys. So this week, welcome to the Wednesday Night Live show. This week we've got Chris and Edina with us, full-time eBay resellers. Thanks so much for joining, guys. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. No problem at all.
Yeah, that's right. I just kind of sent you guys just a random Instagram message, really, didn't I? Just like, oh, hello, would you like to come on my show?
Well, it's not many of us, so why not find all of us and see who's doing what?
Definitely, yeah. I'm all around the country as well, so it's good to see different people on,
Yeah, definitely. So tell me, guys, just kind of what got you into reselling?
Start off with me, really. I was retro video games is what I kind of started with. I bought a couple for myself, and then I was buying lots, and I had extra ones, and I kind of sold a few here and there. Which is part time. I started from really, didn't I?
Yeah, dude. He started out. I still remember getting him packaging supplies from Poundland. So it was like 3 padded envelopes, and I think there was like a meter long bubble wrap.
Yeah.
So that was all the packaging supplies we needed at first.
Yeah, it was just the odd item here and there. As many people start. I had a full-time job at the time, so just did a bit here and there, and it's kind of snowballed from there, really, didn't it?
So what was your jobs at the time then?
I was an events manager.
I was an events manager as well. Yeah. I was focused on weddings. He was focused on
conferences and stuff. And then when I got made redundant during lockdown, and then I thought, if I'm never going to give it a go, now is going to be the time to do it, And I took it full time.
Yep.
It was all in the flat at one point, wasn't it? It was, as probably many other people are, it was things piled up everywhere in the flat. And we got out the flat a couple of years ago and went full time and never looked back, really.
Oh, nice. What kind of, well, obviously apart from like lockdown, did you feel kind of safe making that decision to go full time? Was it like a bit of a jump for you?
It's always tricky. Obviously, if going from a full time job, you've got a steady income coming in. And then with reselling, especially eBay reselling, you have a good month, 1 month, you have a bad month. You need to cover all your bases, cover all your bills and stuff. So it is scary. But I thought when I got made redundant, I got a little bit of money from work. I thought if I'm going to do it, now is going to be the time. Otherwise, I'll never do it. And it kind of went from there, didn't it?
And I was still employed full time, so it was the certainty of a wage coming in, of covering all the bills and everything, because we weren't really sure if we were going to go completely full time on this, but then we did.
You notice when you go from part-time to full-time as well, it's a big difference of what you need to be selling, how much you need to be selling. It's not just a bit of fun anymore. You need to take it a lot seriously, and which I think we do now, don't we? So
yeah, definitely. Like you kind of like you say, would you say that you kind of lost the fun out of reselling by going full-time, or is it still just as fun?
Yeah, I think it's just as fun. It's the chase is what a lot of me and Edina and a lot of the resellers is the chase of finding new stuff. You never know what you're going to have from one day to the next. People contact us or we go to car boot sales. Still, the thrill of the chase is still there, isn't it?
I did enjoy going to car boot sales more when I was decorating the house on a budget rather than when you have to make a living out of it. But yeah, the fun is still there. It's just
you have to take it more seriously, don't you? I think that's the key thing. You have to treat it as a job, which it is. We go to work. We go to work on set days. We have not set times, but rough amount of time you need to spend at work. So as long as you take it as a job, I think it can still be fun, and we still find really amazing things all the time that we're in. It's still really enjoyable.
Yeah. Do you have like set routines that like you follow? Like some people kind of don't like to ship things at the weekend, or we
try to. Yeah, we do 1 day shipping. So we try to ship Monday to Friday. We go and take it out after we've done our day's work, and then we try not to do any ship at the weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, unless it's Christmas time or anything that makes the sales roll in. Then we just make sure that they're out the door, because it is what it is.
Yeah, I think Christmas we probably maybe put a little bit more weekends and stuff, but we try to. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still go to the car boot sale on Saturday and Sunday, so we don't completely stop at the weekends. But
we don't have a full day off. We never have a full day off unless we take some time off.
Yeah, during the week. But then you still need to take the parcels out and stuff. So I think we used to be 2 or 3 days shipping. now since we moved it to one, we've really noticed a difference of with the sales as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm just going to jump in the chat a minute, guys.
Just jump in.
To everyone. So we've got Reseller Denzin, hello.
Hi.
We've got Limelight Vinci, Jenny, hiya. Thrifty George, hello. Lisa, hello, thanks for joining. Oh, Limelight says hello here as well. And I Dream of Crafting, hello, thanks so much for joining. Tonks as well, hello. And we've got Damien, DB Resells, hello, thanks for joining. Jason, hiya, thanks for joining. And we've got Lindsay and Alvin. Lindsay and Alvin have changed their name to Drink and Dive Dumpster Divers. It's kind of like a play on like drink and drive, but they don't drive, they dive. But they were Lindsay and Alvin Dumpster Divers UK, I think, but now they're Drink and Dive Dumpster Divers because they do lives as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And some things.
That's a really cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get it at first because I'm a bit thick. I didn't make the link between like drink and drive. I was like, oh yeah, I see it now. Lisa's in, hello. Denz says, sounds like his situation as well. He was made redundant. I thought the same.
Yeah, I think it's probably a common thing as well. Obviously, with being locked down, obviously eBay exploded as well, so that kind of helped as well.
It was a good push, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good push. It was probably the push I needed to go full time as well, I think.
Yeah.
And you came along last year, didn't you?
Last year, yeah. I started last year.
Yeah.
Of course, I was there to help all the time because
you were doing all the work without all the benefits, weren't you? You were.
I got that.
Taking all the parcels out every day, weren't you?
Yeah.
We've also got Dave, ABL Reselling, and thanks so much for joining, Dave. Thanks.
Hi, Dave.
And Double Karma, hello. Thanks so much for joining. So, Edina, what made you kind of just join Chris then in the reselling?
It was really the question of, do I still want to work 2 jobs or do I just want to work the one? And I have been promising myself to get out of hospitality for very many years. However, you don't just up and leave a job, you know, especially if you're good at it, because I was pretty good at it.
Yeah,
we were both pretty good at it. Yeah. That's why we're organizing events now as well and everything when we get the chance. So it was just the opportunity and I took it. Chris was very insisting on me leaving hospitality because he's seen that the more I was helping him, the better the results were.
Yeah, so, definitely. And you weren't really happy in the job you did either. You know, it was
not at all.
It was a good enough job, but you weren't happy doing it. You know,
it wasn't a bad job. It wasn't a bad paid job or anything like that. It's just I feel like reselling gives you the work-life balance that everyone speaks about. Yeah. It really does. It really does.
I mean, we do work most days, but we can, if we want to go to the park one day and go down the beach, you can do all those things.
You just don't feel like doing it that day. You will just do it tomorrow, or you just, for example, summertime. It tends to be really hot from where we work from, so we can just take photographs of listings, to spend a whole day there, take all your photographs, and then just list from wherever you want. You know,
definitely,
Good.
Yeah, it definitely gives you that work-life balance, doesn't it? And that freedom to make your own decisions as to when you're going to do things. So yeah, it's definitely like nice. Do you have any like winter car boots that you go to as well?
Not really. Winter's always tricky. There's the odd. I think they shut down, done it for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Over what we try and do is build up a backlog over the summer to try and tie us over for the winter. We have a couple of other ways that we source items. We have a Facebook page. A lot of people reach out to us and stuff. So it's not just the car.
We also pay for advertisement on social media. So people contact us through that. And that usually works through winter time because people, when they need money, you know, there's a lot of stigma around Christmas to spend all the money you have. So people tend to then get rid of, you know, collections and stuff like that. And that works in our benefit. So we try in the summertime to have enough money to afford to keep us going.
Yeah, definitely. I think the paid adverts on Facebook, which we use, would work pretty well, don't they? You know, it might be a couple of days before that you get a big hit, then you get a big hit, you know, and that kind of ties us through.
How did you guys have to like learn how to do paid adverts on Facebook then?
It's pretty straightforward. We have a Facebook page anyway, the Retro Consoles page that we use, and it's pretty straightforward from there. We definitely went with Facebook because you can target specific areas and genres and people and ages and stuff, and it's pretty straightforward to use.
Yeah, and it is the platform you want to use when you want to find something, buy something or sell something for people that are a certain age that will have a collection that we are interested in selling. So we will find those people there.
Facebook is the right platform, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. And do you guys use any other platforms to sell on as well?
Not really. I've tried Poshmark and all the other ones, but we predominantly sell video game. Probably 40% of our business is video games. 40% is toys and collectibles, and then maybe 5 or 10% is like clothes and stuff. So
everything that I pick up from the curb sale, because we never used to do that.
No,
Chris never used to pick up anything that was out of the genre that he was selling and collecting himself, and he liked it as well.
It's just what I knew. You know, you know yourself. You tend to stick to things you know well, and that's a good thing with Edina coming on board as well. She buys a lot more things that I wouldn't necessarily even look at really, and it's worked really well, hasn't it? So
that's good. Sean, my spammer, is in. Says, "What a joy to see some frankly good-looking guests on your live, Sophie. I can put my bag down and concentrate on not losing a word rather than my dinner." Thanks, Sean.
Thank you very much. I like that.
Enjoy dinner.
Hospitality is hard work and often unsociable hours.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's not even just unsociable hours, because we don't want to look like victims, because it's not like we had to sacrifice anything while working in hospitality, but our free time, and somehow that free time just becomes close to nothing at one point, because all you do is just work and work. And then if you want to have a decent wage in hospitality, you have to put in more hours than what's expected of you.
Yeah.
So what you're told when you get hired. So if you want to do it right, you have to give it way too much time that is not worth it.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. I enjoyed doing the job, but the situation was that it couldn't carry on anymore because of a lockdown. Nobody knew how long it was going to last.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of in the same boat, so it was time to get out. We seen the opportunity to get out, and we got out.
I was a lot more scared than him. It took me a lot longer to leave my job.
But by then, though, I'd been full time for a little while. I've probably been full time now, probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
Where you've been about a year. So there was a business there for you to move into.
Yeah.
It was just whether it could sustain 2 people's wages rather than 1. And I think we're getting there. You know, it's slow growth, but you can see the growth that's there. You know.
Yeah. That's good. That's amazing. Kevin in, good afternoon, Lakeland, Florida. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Sean, have you changed again? I was just getting used to DDUK, although when you say it fast, it sounds like a lot of fuck. Like fuck. How? DDUK? Duck? I suppose, duck could sound like fuck, I suppose. I don't know. Lindsay, lol, Sean, that was the name change. Can't fit all those words on that little logo thing.
Our channel changed about 5 times as well.
You change it every opportunity you get.
Different things have happened. It started off me just doing video games, and then it was a video game related thing, and it's just then you came along, we changed it as it's gone along. So it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? But it's the point across.
And Karina is inspired by you two.
We love Karina, don't we?
Yes, we do, yeah.
So is there any consoles that you definitely stay away from, Chris? Is there ones that you think, I'm having that?
Yeah, there's a couple. The first kind of generation Xbox 360s, they had a thing called the Red Ring of Death.
Yeah.
So I tend to keep away from them.
And it's predominantly the white ones
Yeah.
on the exterior.
It's predominantly the white ones, and then anything 70s computer-wise, like your ZX Spectrums and stuff, I tend to stay away from them just because it's a lot of hassle to test them and fix them, and I tend to kind of stick just to consoles, really. Kind of, mid-80s, 90s, early, all the way up to PlayStation 3 or 4, really. So, the Xbox, those Xboxes, we've just had one in three don't work, so we just don't buy them anymore. They're just more hassle than they're worth, aren't they?
And we also stay away from Wii stuff now as well.
Yeah,
like Wii consoles.
We just have so many of them.
So many of them. Because with lockdown, it was the hot stuff. Everyone wanted a Wii.
Yeah, Wii's went mad. They tripled in price over lockdown. We just have so many of them.
There was one point where you were selling Wii consoles for 70 odd quid, and now you can't get them to the door. I don't know, 30 quid or 40 quid.
40 quid, yeah. It's just things come and go, you know. So same with anything, any collecting anything. It's one month this is hot, next month that's hot. So we consoles probably because we have so many of them, you know. We probably have 20 or 30 of them, you know. So it's.
Nintendo Wii's go really well for me.
Do you sell them just the console, or do you bundle them up with games and stuff?
No, I bundle them up with games. I might put maybe 4 in there. If it's like a Mario game, I'll sell that on its own, like separately. But I sold one on Poshmark actually last week.
Oh, nice.
So I think it was the one. So. No, I did overpay a little bit for this one actually. I paid £15, and it's a Wii controller, nunchuck, and obviously like the sensor bar and the power and everything. So I did overpay slightly for it, but I sold it for 45 on Poshmark.
Oh wow, that's good.
Spare anyway, so I just logged in with it. But then after the fees on Poshmark, I think I took back, because it's 20% fee, so I think I took about 36.
That's not bad. One thing we noticed as well, we did quite well with bundling kind of Mario Kart at Christmas time. I did a big bundle. I did a Wii console, Mario Kart, 4 controllers, 4 steering wheels. We got over 100 quid for that, which was a pretty good. I think Christmas was just the right time for it, wasn't it?
With Wii's, what I like to do is, because for some odd reason we have so many balance boards, and we have these Wii Active, Wii Sports, Wii this, Wii that. So I tend to do like workout bundles, and they work. They work.
Yeah, I think if you can kind of tie them in, is always good, you know. So
that's quite a good way to approach it, actually, doing like a workout bundle.
Yeah, because people still do it from home. They're quite good. The active
games,
Wii games,
definitely,
yeah, they go really well for me. Nintendo Wii's, like I never have them very long.
That's good.
I did pick that same one. I picked up £15. I picked up another for a £5 later on in the car boot, but it was just the Wii on its own. So I had £20 like in my Vinted account, so I sourced like a power lead off there for a £5.
Oh, nice.
And then I just bought a new like sensor bar with it, and then it was like pretty much ready to go, really.
Yes.
So I suppose really I probably paid about the same 15 for it, really. But
I mean, it's definitely consoles plenty of them are out there, you know. I mean, everyone would like to sell Super Nintendos all day long, but they just don't. They're few and far between, you know. Good. Xbox 360s, a lot of them as well. We did, especially the slim one. We saw a lot of as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Xboxes are quite flaky. Like I don't really pick them up now either, to be honest, because like you say, you know, I'd pick some up and then you test it at home, and then you either can't even get it to go on, or it's, you know, got the red ring of death or whatever. But they were always flaky anyway, weren't they? Like even like once you'd had them for maybe a couple of years, they'd always start breaking, wouldn't they?
The Xbox 360, the Slim's the best one to go for. So a slightly slimmer console that tends to not have so many issues. Definitely one. If I was going to pick them out of a pile, that would definitely be the one I go for. Yeah, PlayStation 2s. PlayStation 2s have shot up right in price as well recently, which is good.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty well with them as well.
I've never been able to find a PlayStation 2 like in the wild.
No,
it's really annoying. So I've wanted to like get one for ages to like resell it, but
I've seen one in like corporate sales and stuff in ages either. Not
No,
PlayStation, just maybe the little ones, the tiny ones I've seen. Which one are they? The Slim.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 Slim. Yeah, I listed a couple up today. So what I tend to do with the consoles, I'll wait till I've got about 6 or 7 or 8 to test, and I'll just have a day of testing, and I'll just hammer through them all. And it's not too bad then, is it?
Yeah.
I sit
day
there,
off for me always, so it's good.
day off for you, and I'll sit there and test consoles all day long. Oh,
Because you need to test them for a certain time, isn't it?
I try to do at least 5 minutes at least, and try and pick a game where I can use all the different buttons as well.
So you do it like properly then, because I'm a bit of an amateur. I literally just plug it in, turn it on. Yep, it's on. Okay, bye.
It's more.
That's what I would do.
It's more the controllers. Sometimes you get controllers. Some of the buttons aren't working, so I tend to pick a game like a football game or a racing game that I know I can use all the different buttons and run it for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, and then kind of go on to the next one. Otherwise, you'll be there all day, won't you? The more modern consoles or the Xbox One, they're a lot trickier to. We factory reset them all as well, and they can be a bit trickier. They just take so long to do, so we try and stay away from them as much as we can. So
I going back actually to that Wii I sold on Poshmark. I had quite a funny conversation with the buyer today. So she like received it. And I'm sure I put in the description the remote will need batteries because it doesn't need batteries. I'm sure I put that in the description. And I thought she was a bit funny anyway, because even after she bought it, she was sending me like loads of questions about it, and I was like, "Yes, it's working, it's fine." Blah. Anyway, she was then saying, "Oh, the remote doesn't work, and the sense bar doesn't work," and then sent me a picture of the back remote with the cover off, going, "Why is it like this?" And I put, "Well, because you need to put batteries in it," like, and obviously.
But I've had to talk people through a couple of times what to do.
Yeah. But it just doesn't make sense to have batteries in anything, because you could be selling that in 3 years' time or 3 days' time, and then the batteries start leaking and they'll destroy everything. So why put it in it? And surely nothing should contain batteries when you send it, because then you'll get problems with, the shipping companies.
Yeah.
I get asked a lot of questions about console.
But no, I was a bit like, really? Like, it's quite obvious that 2 batteries need to go in that in that slot. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, it all works." And then she said, "Oh, I can't put it on my telly on my front room because there's no like AV like connection on there."
Yeah.
And she was like, "What do I do about that?" And I was like, "Well, I'm guessing you can buy an attachment or."
Yeah, you can buy a converter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Love, I'm not like fucking Currys." Like,
aftermarket, customer service.
Oh God. No, people do tend to get funny with certain things.
The older consoles, I get a lot of issues. Not issues, but
weird questions.
Explaining how to get them to work on a modern TV can be. Sometimes people send me pictures and videos, and I'm sending them videos back and pictures back, and most of this stuff you can just go on YouTube and find how to do it. It's you type in how to plug a Super Nintendo into a modern TV. It talks you through the whole process. So a lot of it's just they can't not panic, but they don't know what to do.
Common sense.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, who is this woman? Sean puts, "It's amazing how much you don't spend when you're not buying coffee as lunch every day while at work. Full-time working for yourself is the way to go."
Definitely, yeah.
I used to work in the city centre, so every single day on my lunch break, I would spend money. It didn't matter if it was just, I don't know,
Coffee on the way into
coffee
work.
on the way into work, or the way out from work, or on your break you just needed a water, or you needed a snack when you went back, or anything, just keeps your money just rolling and rolling out of your pocket. I know.
Yeah, it's definitely a benefit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it sometimes we do tend to get like meal deals now at work, but I still feel like it's a splurge, and I just don't want us to splurge on lunches. So just get your lunches done from home.
Yeah, definitely.
I try and do that, like, because I still work. Like, I try and, well, I'm really good for maybe like a few days of doing my own lunches and things, and then I'm like, oh, can't be bothered. But the shop at my work is like so expensive. Like, if you get like a meal deal there, which you don't have an awful lot to choose from, you can basically get like a sandwich, bag of crisps, and a drink for $4.25, which isn't bad. But anything like outside of the meal deal, like I got a wrap, a bag of crisps, and a drink, and it came to £9.
Oh wow!
The meal deal, like it's
absolutely
like extortionate there.
Like corner shops and stuff are cheeky, aren't they? They just want to get the most out of you. So
especially if you're doing that 10 times a month, you know, that's 90 quid, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And it's hard to do your own lunches and to stay disciplined on this subject, because you just get fed up. It's the same wraps and the same sandwiches and the same. But then this is what I told Chris, that this is what I find the hardest by being self-employed, is that you don't have that regimen that you used to have, you know, while you were working, because you knew that the clock went off at 6 o'clock, and if you were not out of bed in 5 minutes, that was you having to make it up excuses and then so on, because you're caught in traffic. But now if I sleep in 5 minutes, it's not a problem. Now if we forget the sandwich, we'll just buy one.
That's the hard bit.
That's the hard bit that we need to correct.
We don't work like 9 to 5, so we try and obviously wake up in the morning, and then you're like, oh, going a little bit later. But as long as we're doing the jobs in the day, it doesn't matter what time we're finishing, you know.
Like, as long as you get done what you need to do, it doesn't really matter what time you start and what time you finish. Like, as long as you do what you need to do, it's fine.
We try and keep it quite loose, don't we? You try and do 25 listings a day. I try and get everything packed from the day before. There's a couple of bits like what I know I need to order bubble wrap or boxes or jiffy bags or whatever. I try and get that done as well.
And Chris keeps on top of our figures as well. Although we have accountants that we work with and they keep us in line, we also try to, by we I say him, he tries to keep on top of every single item that we bought and we sold and how much for and when and how.
Catching the refunds, you know, sometimes they don't track them on eBay on the financial page, so it's making sure if I'm refunding someone, I'm taking it off my figures, so we're not losing out on money, you know, because it's our money at the end of the day we're losing out on. So I keep on top of all the figures. I use like an Excel document. I just track all the daily sales and all the daily expenses and stuff, and it works pretty well. You got it for me, didn't you? Yeah, it
was a present from me when you went full time. I got him like an Excel spreadsheet. You just paid for it and then you just got it down. It was all set up.
Yeah, it's a special one for resellers. I've used it ever since, haven't I? Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Hajni says, "Love you guys."
Who's that?
That was Hajni.
Oh, there we go. That's my auntie.
Yes.
Everyone's watching.
We've also got Ali Evans in. Hello, thanks for joining. Kath E. Hi, Chris, Edina, and Soapy. She always calls me Soapy, which I quite like. I let her call me Soapy. I have my old one at my mum and dad's, so it's the big one. I'm guessing you mean the PlayStation 2, Lisa. Just coming down. We've also got Before 2000 in. Hello. Oh, my chat went blank then. Who is Drink and who is Dive? Which do you think? And Kathy dares not say. People seem to forget how to search, how to do things. I get it all the time in my job. I work at Argos and they expect me to know how to use everything.
Yeah. The message I get at the time, I can't get it to work. Are you sure you tested it? Yes, I have definitely tested it. Yep. I can't send pictures of me testing it as I go along.
Sean, I don't get any of this battery business with my stuff, but most people who buy old ceramics tend not to try and power them up. Jilly B's in. Hello. Thanks for joining, Jilly.
Hi, Julie.
Do they complain their dentures don't fit in the item though? The toughest thing about making your own lunches is scale. You end up with enough tuna pasta for the next 7 days.
You do, don't you? You just make up the whole batch. You're so enthusiastic, and then no one eats it. It just
You're the worst portion size as well. Wow.
I know, it's like, because I live on my own, so if I know I'm working like for the next 3-4 days in a row, whatever I do for tea, I try and just make like, you know, a load of.
Yeah.
Or whatever I've had for lunch, I try and make a load of as well. But then say like if I do like a pasta bake or something, I am literally like pasta baked out by
So
days later. And then I'm like, I can't even like take this to work with me. I just can't manage another like pasta bake. I just can't do it.
Pasta bacon, I'm done.
Yeah.
Used to be bad with portions, did you? Much better now.
Yeah.
What I try and do now is I'll make like whatever I have for lunch, I'll make a batch of that, and then whatever I have for dinner, I'll make a batch of that. So at least then I've got like 2 things to choose from.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Jilly B, cheaper to make my own food, mainly banana and apple. Is that it?
That's good. She must have a nice and clear skin.
Very healthy, yeah.
She's probably got a nice and clear bowel as well, if that's what she mac and cheese for me tonight and tomorrow night. Thrilling.
No.
I did that once. I made like a massive mac and cheese. I did it from scratch as well. I did all the sauce and everything. So I thought I'm going to make it really nice. I'm going to put like an effort in. And then, yeah, I was mac and cheesed out totally.
I know my favorite mac and cheese is from Marks and Spencer's. They have smoked ham hock in it. It's an absolute dream.
Jilly B, banana and apple diet. I don't think your toilet can ever be close enough with the lack of rubbish in your diet. I would give them just wear plastic undies. This is what I was thinking, Sean. Hello, Tam and Belle. Thanks for joining.
Hi.
It's all she has. All you have time for. Just a banana and an apple. I don't know how you survive. Do you guys? So you guys are based in Scotland, aren't you?
Yeah, Aberdeen. Yeah, so right at the top, northeast.
Oh, okay. Do you guys ever like meet up with any other resellers at all?
You're too far away, you know. Even to get to Edinburgh is 2.5 hours.
I mean,
yeah.
We do tend to see certain people in you know, places where everyone else would go to source and then so on, and the cardboard sales, but there's not any resellers really that are very talkative at the cardboard sale. I can't get anyone to say hello to me, so I don't know how to make friends with them.
You see the same people, the same resellers come to the cardboard sale all the time, but you may say, how's it today for you? But we never met up with any other resellers, no.
Not really.
Are they all quite kind of like zoned in on their
yeah. I don't know if it's them or me. But someone's zoned in. Like I do tend to go and just put my head down and just like keep filling the car up.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done and I put everything down and I no longer feel like a donkey, I will go back and look for stuff that I like and I enjoy.
I speak to a few more of them. Quite a few of them sell video games, so I speak to a few more than probably you do, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's.
I always complain about resellers here where we go to the cardboard sale. It tends to be just a tad bit too much for me. Like,
yeah,
have some dignity.
elbowing you out the way. Yeah,
it's elbowing you out of the way. It's breathing down your neck. It's going up to a car before the person who is selling from that car even gets to the point of opening the boot. It's asking for stuff out of the boot while it's in the boot. It's savage. It's too much. I can't.
Yeah, it's pretty savage.
It is. Yeah. I can't do that, and that tends to annoy me to the point that I don't look at anyone. So I don't know if it's them not looking at me saying hello or me.
How do you find it at the car boot sales?
Oh, it's a bit vulture-y here as well. Like you get just loads of vultures, and I can't stand it. I'm just like, there's no need for it, really.
I think everywhere suffers from that, you know. It's kind of.
I mean, we all want to get good stuff, and we're all in a hurry to be there. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not just going to stand about or go to the other side where no one is. It's just when you see the cloud.
Yeah.
I can't.
The poor lady, she's there trying to open her boot, and there's 50 people swarm around her.
Yeah.
It's a bit too much, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is, like with my car boot as well, is that so it opens at 8, and that's for like buyers and sellers, really.
Okay.
So people are kind of driving in whilst the buyers are coming in too. So
Yeah.
and no one gives anyone any chance. I think if they said like, right, sellers you got to be here at 7 and buyers you got to be there, you know, from 8. It would just let people set up like in their own time.
Definitely.
Like, peace and quiet.
It can't be too hard to organize.
We have 2 car boot sales now. We have a Saturday one, and I am an absolute fan of the Saturday one. The people who organize it, you can see that they're dedicated. They actually enjoy being there.
Yeah.
There is a rhyme and rhythm to it. There's like the resellers of the car boot sale are always there first.
Yeah.
Then people arrive because they do state that sellers and buyers should come at these certain times. Of course, resellers will be there before anyone else because you have to be there.
It's hard to control it. There's not one way in and one way out. If it's in a field, people just kind of go for it, don't they?
But then there is like a nice little pace to it. But then the Sunday one, it's an absolute it's mayhem. I mean, if you're there for 7 o'clock, you're standing in the rain or the wind or whatever for another hour, and then she will be on the dot at 8 o'clock. She'll let people open their boots. Then everyone's around the boots. You can't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you go for 8 o'clock, you are too late. Everyone has filled their cars up, and you're just there, and you just realize you woke up at 6 o'clock for nothing. So
just a bit more structure would be good. You know, it would be good for everybody as well. You know,
especially that there's not many in the northeast of Scotland. It's just these 2. Yeah, that's all we have.
I think the nearest one, decent one, is probably about an hour and a half drive, 2 hours drive. Yeah, and that's one of the biggest ones in Scotland, but it's a long way to go. You know, it's
not fancy.
No, we're lucky we have 2 now.
Big, but it's not very fancy.
We have 2 now, so.
Yeah, we've got there's one in Cheltenham, but it's pretty big and it goes over Saturday, Sundays, and bank holidays. And Daisy May Cooper was there selling actually at the weekend, and I totally missed her. She was there with her dad. I totally missed her. But yeah, it's all right. But they've also just started opening it a little bit earlier. So if you want early access, they've got to pay £3. And then if you want to get in from 8 o'clock onwards, it's £1 like it always was anyway. And they've literally only just introduced that. So I went not last week, the week before, and so many people were just like wandering around moaning about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can believe that.
I think a lot of car boot sales in England you have to pay to get into, where we don't pay anything, do we?
I don't see why would you pay in an open field. Everyone's selling their trash to one another.
Yeah.
Why would you pay for that?
Yeah.
Why would they make you pay for that? Like, honestly, some people just want to make money out of everything. I'm sorry, but I think it's a bit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be paying for getting there. Fair enough if it's like an early bird ticket, you know?
Yeah.
You're a reseller, you want to be here first, fair enough. Pay this fee and you can come in, afterwards people can come for free. But just in general, to pay for it.
No, surely you want to encourage people to go. They're making their money off the sellers, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it charity shops you source a lot of stuff from, or car boots, or?
Charity shops. I'm going to go to the car boot on Monday because it's bank holiday Monday. I'm working all of this weekend.
Okay.
I mean, I don't start till 1:15, so I could go in the mornings, but then I'm off on the Monday and it's open, so I thought I'll just go
Okay,
on
that's good.
the Monday, and I don't feel rushed to kind of look around to get back home,
Yeah.
hour of work, and
Totally, yeah.
But yeah, I do charity shops. I do some kilo sales sometimes.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
What else? Sometimes I'll get stuff off Vinted.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll look on, like Facebook Marketplace, get stuff off there as well.
So would you buy it off Vinted then to sell on another platform?
I put it on Vinted. I put it on Vinted as well.
Okay, nice. Yeah, nice.
Brazen.
Yeah, no, good.
I'm thinking of getting more clothes and starting to sell more clothes, because I went through my wardrobe and I took stuff into work and we sold them all. So I said, how about just buy the same stuff I would buy for myself in every shape and size,
Yeah.
And just sell it. I don't know if they sold, because I'm a bigger girl. I'm a size 16, and then that is the size that is the most popular one, and everyone wants that size. Or they sold because maybe I'm buying stuff that is sellable.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, but I need to try it to see if we give clothes a.
I definitely think maybe Vinted and Poshmark might be a good way to go with the clothes, So, I mean, you pick.
I've been selling absolutely everything on Poshmark, from Pokemon cards to Nintendo Wii's to clothes to shoes.
That's good.
I've literally been selling like everything on there, like I would on any other kind of platform, really.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I like about Poshmark is that when someone buys from you, it takes the money off them instantly.
That's good. Okay.
And if they're trying to mess around and they don't actually have the money in their account, because the minute they click that they're going to buy it, like they're buying it, there's no way out, basically.
That's a big problem with eBay.
Yeah. And it will also notify you, because I had one, and they were like haggling for like ages over this hoodie, and eventually I was like, right, just have it. And then I accepted the offer, and then it said, this person has no money in their account. We have prompted them to top up their funds. And they did actually buy it, but it lets you know straight away if someone hasn't got the money.
So would you have the same items listed on eBay and Vinted, or do you keep it separate?
No, pretty much. What I was doing, for my eBay and Vinted, I have pretty much the same, apart from Vinted won't really let you put certain items on there. Like, I wanted to put like a DVD player on there once, and it took it down and warned me about it. There's a few things that Vinted won't let you, sell on there, won't let you put on.
But would you have the same item listed on multiple platforms, and then if it sells on one, you take it off the other one? Yeah,
that's what I do. I just have to make sure that I'm really like quick at doing it.
Yeah,
I've got to do it instantly when it's in my head, because if you sell something twice, it's just like annoying, isn't
nightmare.
it?
Yeah, nightmare. Yeah, that'd be a minor one. It's hard enough getting all those things up on eBay. Then I'm doing them on Vinted, and
it's not even listing them. For me, I think it's keeping on top of what is still worth what. Because 3 months ago, I don't know, a Mario Kart game or whatever, it was worth a lot more than it's going to be worth today, or just random stuff. The prices change all the time, and keeping on top of that, I think that's the hardest.
We're quite bad with that. I mean, we have 2,300 listings, so sometimes I know some listings have been on there forever, and we're getting into a habit of going through all the old listings and making sure you can changing the prices or taking them down and relisting them. That's a job on its own, going through everything. One game that was £30 6 months, a year ago, is now 15 quid, So it's rather than just sitting there forevermore. You need to keep going through it all,
Yeah, definitely. No,
and it probably works the other way. Things that they've gone up in price as well, So
yeah, I mean, I just like I always list on eBay first, and then because it takes the longest, so I list there first, and I copy and paste the title, and then for like Vinted, Depop, and Poshmark, it's literally like a quarter of the time of listing on Yeah, like it's so quick to do everywhere else than eBay. Like you don't have to fill out like a million item specifics and things like that. Like I could probably like say if I was just listing on Vinted, I could probably list like 5 items in the space of time it would take me to do about 2 or 3
Oh
on.
well, that's good. Okay, so I'm sure I've heard of an app that you put the listing into the app that shares them on all the platforms. It lists them on all of them.
Was it?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've never looked into it.
Like cross-listing platforms like there's Zip Sale and List Perfectly, but they can be quite expensive as well. Like, I just don't have the.
Okay.
Not really like in the position to kind of pay for that kind of thing yet.
Like,
of
course,
I'd rather do it manually, although it takes up more time. But I'm not in the position to kind of pay for it really.
How many listings do you tend to do a day? Do you list daily or just kind of as and when?
So what I do is I go through stages where I aim for like 10 a day if I can. But what I do is I will say on like my day off, if I've been to the charity shops and that, I'll photograph it all, I'll put it all in my draft bank, and then I will kind of release maybe like 5 a day, because then I can always put new stuff on like while I'm working as well.
Of course,
Or I do sell similars too. Sometimes I'll do like a mix, maybe like new and do sell similars. And then if I haven't got any stock, to put on, then it will just be like sell similars really. But I'm always doing something with it like every day.
Like tweaking it,
Yeah.
I think you need to with it, don't you?
You need to, I mean, we've seen a raise in our sales when we just went through and did our annual stock just to see what's there and what's not, and we just went through it, and just by going through them, you just had days and days of sale all the time, and all we do is just to double check that things are actually where the custom SKU says they are, or Chris is going to have 3 tiny meltdowns while packaging. So we
use a custom SKU system to store everything. So we have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and then there's 100 boxes.
The whole alphabet,
and then
goes by
that
number.
way. Sometimes something will sell, somebody won't pay for it, so the listing gets taken off, doesn't get relisted, so it just sits in a box. That's why we try to do once a year, try to go through everything and make sure everything that's meant to be there is there, and everything that's there is listed as well. Because sometimes we find loads of stuff, don't we, that have sold, not paid for, or
and they just got chucked back somewhere.
It just gets missed, doesn't it? So
definitely. Like, and sometimes as well. I mean, I've got like a SKU system. At the moment I've got box like A through to H. Just about literally all I can fit in my flat at the moment. I mean, there's bags of stuff as well. But I've got like a SKU system, and I was quite glad when I first started it, and I started it like early really, because it allowed me to kind of get in the habit of kind of stock taking early. Listings do drop off and photos do drop off, and things like that, rather than waiting until I've got like 1,000 items and then trying to start organizing it all and then things like that.
I brought the SKU system in. I probably had about 600 listings, and I thought I need to do it now. It took a whole day to go through everything and put it in, but once it's in, sometimes before I was spending 20 minutes looking for one item. Now it takes me 30 seconds, But
we used to do it from home as well, and it was a bit everywhere. We tried to lie to ourselves that there is a system to it, but it wasn't really, because we had a lot of things. Is when COVID hit and the lockdown hit, no, it was just announced that it's going to be a lockdown in a couple of days. This random guy just contacted Chris that he is closing his shop if we want to buy it. So we spent all our savings on that. It was a whole shop that shut down.
He was selling video games, and he was selling records, and he was going to stop selling video games. So we bought his entire stock, and our flat looked like a
bomb site. Like you could only make it to the toilet and to the bed, and then back, and then to the kitchen. That was it. The cats loved it.
It was great. It took so long to go through.
And it was so dirty and dusty. Like I remember, you couldn't find all these wet wipes, like Dettol wipes and stuff, because people were going mad that we're dying. And here I was, I needed them for the little video game, so I could clean them up.
It was a good idea at the time, and it really kickstarted eBay, didn't it? Really, properly, and it was but it was a lot of stuff to go through. They're piled up everywhere, weren't they? What have we done?
I was not happy.
No, I bet.
Now we have a place we go to work, and it's all there, isn't it? Nothing's really in the flat anymore. So
no, we work out of units.
Yeah, we have a big converted storage units that we work out of.
Oh right, yeah.
A big 40-foot. We started off with one. Now we've got two, don't we?
Yeah.
And we pay a couple, 300, 400 £400 a month for 2 units, and one's like a converted office. It's converted into an office, so everything goes in there, gets processed. Edina photographs it, gets tested, and then it moves into the second unit, and then that's where it gets stored till it gets shipped. So
and then we also have like facilities there. You know, you have a toilet, you have a microwave, you have you have stuff that you need. It's a communal area.
It's been really good for, like, when I was working from home, I always found it tricky, as many other resellers probably do, knowing when to watching TV and I need to get started and work. Like, we go there to work, and it works well, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It was tricky working from home.
That's good though. Like, it sounds like you've got a really good setup there.
Yeah, it's taken time, hasn't it?
It's over years and years. We're still changing stuff because even now we realize that this doesn't make much sense, but we've been doing it this way for a long time. So then we just go and tweak it.
It's always tweaking things. We started off from a couple of boxes under the bed, and then it was the flat, and then it was a bigger flat, then it was a first unit, then it was a second unit. And then once we kind of filled that, then we'll maybe look at something else, you know? As long as it's financially viable to do these, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, thank you, Catherine. Catherine bought a item from me on Poshmark.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for buying that from me. We really appreciate it. I tried sending you a thank you message on Instagram, but I think Instagram was down at the time. It kept saying like couldn't load feed, and it was constantly sending. So I don't know whether it actually got to you, but I did say thank you. Lisa, you can't list like 2 pairs Levi 501s. Vintage seem to think you're selling the same item even if you're not. I haven't had that problem, to be honest, Lisa.
Did you not change the title slightly? I suppose it's exactly the same item.
Yeah. Probably the best way around it.
But sometimes eBay does that. It says you've already listed this item, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean, I have expanded my vase and bowl selling. I now do bowls, cups, saucers, teapots, and ornaments as well. Dipping my toe into jugs is coming, as is juggling a bit of cutlery. Nice, well done, Sean.
Yeah, it's always good to get into a new kind of area of reselling as well. Sometimes I'll pick up your bit and piece and see how it does, you know, and it kind of goes from there.
Yeah.
Do you stick to the same kind of items yourself, or do you try and mix it up a bit?
I mainly do like clothes, shoes, video games, consoles, electronic kind of stuff. I kind of do a little bit of everything, really. I try and stay away from ceramics just because I find it doesn't matter how well I pack it, I still end up with it arrived.
It's my dream, isn't it?
We're the same. Edina would love to sell those kind of things.
I would love to sell crockery and vintage stuff, beautiful things, handcrafted things. But then we got a lamp from an auction that was 70-year-old lamp, and then in the next 2 days, a random guy from Every just stepped on it and stomped on it. It was gone. So I can't, I'm really scared to go into it as well.
It's just the shipping of it is a problem, you know. It was some lovely stuff and some good profit to be made, you know. It's just the shipping is a killer for us, you know. Yeah,
definitely. Julie says you can't sell balls of wool on Vinted, which is a bit odd.
Random. And I know there's loads of random different things you can't sell on eBay either. It's Velcro or something like that.
I think you can't use the word Velcro because they'll block your listing. If you put Velcro everywhere.
That's true because I don't know whether I put Velcro in the listing, but I think it asked me, like, it said don't use the word Velcro because it's like a registered trademark.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird
Yeah.
how there's random items. Mystery boxes are what they do. Any mystery boxes on eBay as well, you know?
Yeah. Sean also says, I sell similar every listing on its last day of the month. Reduce the price and promote it if it's month 2. Never promote in the first 30 days. Most items sell in the first 2 days if I have the price right. Nice, Sean.
It does make sense. I mean, if you have the price right, you're good. But most of the time, you either feel greedy to put extra £3 on it to see if you can, then send out offers, and if you leave it with offers accepted. But then sometimes you underprice it and you sell it in like 20 seconds while you're doing a different listing, and you're like, have I sold the only thing that was worth anything?
Because of what we sell, a lot of it, there is lots of it for sale on eBay, video games, toys. So we promote every listing pretty much, unless it's something rare or there's not many of them about, then I won't bother promoting the listing. But 99% of our listings get promoted.
Yeah.
And it seems to be fine. You don't really know if it makes a difference.
We promote them 3%, 5% depending.
Yeah.
We're not going to go with the recommended
3% is what we do. So, yeah. I think 3% is enough just to make a difference,
just to make it appear in the
above.
Lin, talking about Vinted, anyone heard from Amanda? I think Amanda's okay, actually, Lin. I think she's just decided to step away from YouTube, but not reselling as a whole. But yeah, she's just stepping back from YouTube. Oh, Jilly, apparently Tina Turner has died.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
She was 83. Has anyone ever had a SKU vanish? I've never had that.
No. One thing does throw us, though. Sometimes if we sell something and do sell similar, the new listing has the old SKU number on it. So you need to catch that sometimes.
Yeah. One thing that irritates me, people who put SKU numbers in their title. Why would you use your precious 80 letters and spaces that you have on your SKU number when you have a designated SKU system number? And it actually makes sense when you go on your listing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, SKU numbers copy.
Because no one needs to do it. No one needs to know that it's an NF7384. Because then I have to go and delete it from the listing. I do kick off a lot.
You get your frustration out.
I do, yeah.
Lee said, I changed the title, had different pictures, but he said, do it again, then they may ban my account, so I don't want to risk it. That's weird.
That is weird.
Lindsay loves selling ceramics. It's one of my favourite things to sell, but it does take some good packaging to get it there safely. Yeah, it really does. And Sean's a packing expert. I expect you are with vases and things.
Oh yeah, glass. I can never imagine shipping glasses.
We did ship that bird bat, which was a hand painted glass, and it survived.
I'm surprised. Well, that was in a box, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a mission. It was beautiful, wasn't it? And and it arrived, but
miracle. We did sell something that almost banned us once, didn't we?
Which thing?
What's it called? God, the vest thingy.
Oh yeah. We sold
a vest, but it was someone's in the army probably. But they dropped it in a charity shop. Here we were.
It was an army vest. You could put like body armor plates into it, and somebody. So eBay didn't take the listing down. Somebody bought it in Germany, so it went GSP, and it got flagged in GSP, and it got destroyed. He got his money back, and we still got to keep our money.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about it. Technically it was like body armor, but it was just like a jacket, wasn't it? It was like an army jacket where you could put body armor plates into it, and it got destroyed.
I was like, oh, nice beige. Okay. That one almost got banned from eBay.
I think maybe someone could use it for like paintballing or something, you know?
Yeah.
And they just it went to GSP wherever in England, wherever it is, and it got destroyed. But the guy got his money back, and we got to keep our money. So it was win-win. But it was a weird one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sean says, I'm often the only person selling the item I have listed, so I can avoid promoting. Sell similar are new listings, so eBay should not junk them. But I think existing listings, eBay drops after 72 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they do actually, Sean. I think it might even be 90 days because I went to the eBay Roadshow and I'm pretty sure they said 90.
I had 3, but yeah, normally about 3 months. If it's not sold, then it's going to be. Well, it depends what it is. If it's a one-off item, you know, then it's only going to bring up that where you look for it, but it kind of gets buried in amongst all the other stuff as well. I mean, I remember going through eBay listings before, and some have been there for 2 or 3 years. I was like, oh my god! Sometimes you can't even find the item. Yeah, that's the worst, you know. It's just kind of you've got to keep turning them over, mix them around. I tend to pick one. Like GameCube games. I'll go through all the GameCube games, take them all down, tweak all the listings, and the sale. Even if we sell a couple more, it's a couple more than we didn't have already in the sales. You know.
Yeah.
Today wasn't it GameCube? A couple of GameCube games sold, and I just went through them all. I just went through them all, tweak the pricing. Sometimes it's only a couple of quid. You know, you change that price, tweak the listing a little bit. It's a fresh listing, and out the door it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and easy. Right, guys, we've been on for about an hour now, so I usually try and keep these sessions down to kind of like 45 minutes to an hour.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start wrapping it up now, but thanks so much for joining. It's been a great
Thank you so much. It was lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. We really enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yeah, it was like it was nice.
And thanks for everyone else who have joined in the chat. Really appreciate it. We'll be on next week, 7 p.m. again as usual, and I think maybe Bobby is coming on. Bobby's like this crazy American guy, basically. So I think he's coming on next week. So yeah, leave me a thumbs up if you can, and I will see you all next week unless I have a video out before then. So yeah, see you all soon, guys. Take care.
Take care. Bye.